So we are live. Let me check myself. All right, guys. So if you are hopping on, definitely give me a sound check. Hello, Shania. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Please let me know if you can hear me. I'm going to give persons a few minutes to hop on. Hi, Chris. Hello, Caribbean Hustlers. Guys, give me a sound check, please. Let me know that you could hear me and that you could see me clearly. Hello, Gary. Good night, guys. Good night, lovely people. This beautiful, what today is? Wednesday. Yeah, so guys, put a thumbs up so that I can know you guys are hearing me. I'm trying this microphone thing today, and I just need to make sure that it's working. All right. Awesome, guys. I am so glad to have you. So, hello to my True Growth family from Instagram, and hello, True Growth family on YouTube, because we are streaming both on YouTube and Instagram tonight. The intention is that by next week, we will be on LinkedIn and Facebook and maybe Twitter as well, and have this conversation around multiple platforms. All right. So, guys, this is a very special good night again. My name is Latina Mata, the founder of True Growth Caribbean, a mindset coach, and this is the second episode of True Growth TV, right? Where we're gonna have some conversations about things that we don't usually talk about, or at least a spin on it from a very personal experience, and of course from other business owners and entrepreneurs that I have had the privilege of being around, and basically sharing how mindset, work, healing, and all the things affect us as business owners. All right. So, guys, just tell me hello. Let me know that you're here. I see Racy and I see Caribbean Hustlers. Hi, Gary. And yeah, I'm going to give folks 2 minutes to hop in, and then we would start. Today's topic is how to become more self confident as a business owner. And this is a big one, considering that so many of us struggle, or so many people struggle with self confidence. And you would think that the more you do this work, the easier it gets. And I would say, yes, it does get easier to a point. And then when you get to that ceiling and you have to up level again, it almost feels as though you're in preschool and you have to do it all over again. And it's always this space of having to ensure that as you up level the actual work that you are getting into, that you have to work on your confidence in that new space, in that new up level, right? So I'm going to start right off the bat, right? How do you build your self confidence as a business owner? And I'm going to start with the first space. You need to believe with your chest in your product or service. I'm going to repeat that. You need to believe with your whole chest, as in own it with your chest in your product and your service. You need to believe that the product and the service that you are providing is exactly what you believe it is. As in, if you say it's going to do X, Y, and Z, you need to believe it with your chest that it is a remarkable product, it is a remarkable service, it is going to create the exact deliverables that you say it's going to create, and probably more. The first space, when you decide, hey, I'm going to launch this business, I'm going to do this thing, I'm going to sell these shoes, I'm going to open this market, this space in the market, whatever it is you're going to do, your reason for doing this, and this is all on my opinion here, but it's also based on the information and the sources of people around me. You can't just do something just because you need money, because you could get money anyway, you could get money anyhow, like you could do that. But if you're a heart-centered human being and you are opening a heart-centered business, you need to believe in your product and service. So let me back up. Even if you are selling something and it's really just because it's there about the money, you need to believe that your product and service is going to do exactly what you say it's going to do. So that means the first space in terms of building a business and building your self confidence, what you're doing needs to be done from a place of integrity. So, number one, what you are engaging in, the thing that you are selling, sell from a space of integrity. You believe it's actually going to do what you say it's going to do. That's the first step in terms of building that self confidence. The second step would be to get support. Get support, get accountability. You also need to have people around you who they believe in what it is you are doing. And oftentimes, guys, these most times are not usually your family or friends, right? Usually your family or friends, they see you in a particular light and they may be like, well, maybe you could try this or maybe you could try that. Or they may say, yeah, go ahead. And their support is not really what you expected, right? So you need to have support, you need to have accountability and mentorship, right? Because as I said, when you are going into a new space of doing something totally out of your comfort zone, it's very difficult to try to do that by yourself. I need to make this abundantly clear. The narrative and the conditioning that we've been taught is do it by yourself, do it by yourself. You have to do everything by yourself. As human beings, we are not conditioned to do anything per se, or most things, by ourselves. We need connection. We get healing through support. We get healing through co regulation. When we are in spaces of fear and anxiety and worry, safety is formed with other people. And that's why I'm using the word safety. So safety is formed with other people and of course safe persons, right? Persons who you feel safe with. So if you are venturing into business or if you are in business and you realize that you are having some confidence issues, then you need to look around the environment that you are in. Are the people, are the spaces, are the places that you're in, do you feel safe? Do you have that support system? Do you have the accountability? Or is it a lot of negativity and other people with their own self doubts that they're projecting on you? Pay attention. So, number two is having support, having accountability, and having safety, having mentorship from somebody or somebodies who you feel safe with. Number three, learn. Always be like, guys, you need to be the silliest in the room. The space that you are in, you can, and this will sound so against, building that self-confidence. No, when you're building your business, to build your self-confidence, you always have to be in student mode, because you have to be consistently mastering your craft. You have to be learning and learning and learning and learning and learning some more. You need to actually be so committed to mastering your skill set, mastering your craft, so that when it is you start the thing that you are doing and you're engaging anything that you're doing, there is this, and it doesn't have to be arrogance, it doesn't have to be this like, nobody could speak to me kind of vibe, but it has to be from a place of, one, again, integrity, and two, this gentleness, this gentle knowing that you know your stuff, right? Because you are seeing results, you are seeing customers, you are seeing people, you are seeing things, people and lives being transformed. And this is not just if you are in the helping field. Even if you're doing something as simple as opening a business selling shoes or selling clothes, or whatever it is, the results, the transformation, the things that you are doing, the product that you are making, the results speak for itself. But that could only come from you consistently learning and improving your craft, right? That will then bring me to the point of, when you are engaging in things, like when you are looking at things, you need to change the lens that you're looking at it through. So, for example, as a business owner, right? When I first started, of course, social media is our place. This is where we play. This is where we find business. This is the place that we do a lot of things. But your eyes, you need to change your lens, the lens by which you look at things. So when you're looking, so let's say you're looking at me through these lens here. And as a business owner, great. If your intention here is to take in this content and learn in terms of your personal development, great. But you could also look at me through the lens of, what strategy is this girl using here? What is she doing here? Pay attention to the fact that, okay, she has a little sign up there. She has a nice little thing. Oh, look, her wall is that color. I realize that there's a kind of branding thing going on here. Look, change the way, or pay attention to the lens by which you look and observe people and things in social media or strategies when you go into business spaces, and you look at people through different lens. Look at people through a lens of how they are branding, how they are marketing, how they are selling their product, how they are sharing their services, how they are sharing their content. Pay attention to how you look at other things, right? How you so you're not just scrolling aimlessly anymore. When you are engaging in things, when you are interacting with people, you need to have an intention. And the more you do this, the more you'll be in that state of learning. And then, of course, out of you learning, you will then find that place of being like, okay, I could do this, I could do that, I could try the other. And in that space is where you'll get practice, right? You get to implement and you get to do trial and error, and you get to find and create systems that work specifically to you. All right. So, guys, as I share, of course, you are free to write comments. You are free to give me any questions that you have. Put it in the question box. All right. I also was prepared for tonight and I actually made a note, right? Usually I speak off the top of my head. So let's see. What it was the last thing I said, right? Constantly improve. Right. Okay, good. Now I am saying when you are doing this work, this is not just business strategy, etc., and like mastering your skill. Your personal development is key. Your personal development is key. There's a line that I say over and over and over again. When you're running a business, when you have a business, when you are doing things that are fully outside of your comfort zone, boy, oh boy, does it highlight all the parts of you that need healing. So when you go into business, aka go into relation with whatever product or service or thing that you are creating, with the intention to help other people, that brings up so many parts of yourself that you did not even know existed. It brings up so much fear, it brings up so much self doubt, it brings up so many limiting stories or protective stories, it brings up so many triggers. They are so, it identifies the parts of you that need healing. And so, to help build your self confidence, you need to deepen your self awareness. And if you start to do the work in terms of your personal development, in terms of your self awareness, in terms of your self as a being, how you show up day by day, it transcends into how you show up in your business. And that ultimately 100% positively impacts your confidence and how you function as you go through your day by day in your business, right? So, here's a pro tip. I learned this from somebody some time ago. When you are reading for work, so you're reading for business, you're reading strategies, you're reading, to deepen your craft, etc., make sure that the other book or the other type of content that you are taking in is for your personal development. Because the deeper your self awareness, the deeper you are connected to who you are as a person, the more aware you are of your energy flow and the way you show up and what works for you and your style of learning. And the more you are aware of yourself as a business owner, the greater and the easier and the more magnetic you are in your business. So you always, at the same time, need to be working at the two. So don't just delve fully into personal development and neglect the business strategy side. And do not only deal with business strategy and completely neglect your personal development. I will say it over and over and over again. Getting into business, being in this space of helping and serving others through products and services, recognizing that the work that you are doing is connected to your soul purpose and you are your own breadwinner, as in nobody's paying you to do this. This is something that has been put on your heart and your spirit and your soul, and you decided, hey, I'm going to do this. It is going to highlight all the parts of you that need healing. And this is why your personal work and your personal development is absolutely mandatory. So you guys are exceptionally quiet on this chat. Please put a comment. Let me know that you are here. Put some hearts. Do something. Share with a friend so that I know you guys you guys are here. All right. Hi Celine. Hi Dominique. Hi Trekhan. I hope I pronounced that correctly. All right. So that brings me to my next point, which is have expanders. So earlier I spoke about mentorship, when I spoke about support systems, and I spoke about accountability. Now I'm speaking about expanders, and the difference is, so supporters, accountability, etc. Those are people who, they are safe space. They show you, they believe in you. They help you stay on track with what it is you have to do. Mentors will guide and support. An expander is somebody who shows you what is possible. So it doesn't have to be somebody in your friends, in your friend group. It doesn't have to be a family member. It doesn't have to be somebody. It does not even have to be somebody in your country. Simply put, expanders are whomever you choose to take in, to look at, and literally realize, oh my God, if he could do it or if she could do it, then I could do it too. What it does is open your mind. A mind one stretch could never return to its original dimensions. And so, if you are able to be in spaces, either physically, virtually, whateverly, you are able to be in spaces with people who show you what is possible. What it does is make you realize that, hey, maybe you're thinking too small, or hey, what it is you want is very much possible and you are more than able and capable of doing it. And I think that is what is the absolute beauty of social media and being able to connect to so many people and see so many things globally, right? So make sure you find expanders, somebody who you could say, oh boy, I love what she does, I love what he does, and basically take them in from not a comparison space, not from a judgy space, not from a jealous space, but from a space of they represent what is possible to you. Expanders matter. I also need to put on a side note as well, when you are observing an expander and you are taking in somebody, also take them in with context, right? Take them in with context, meaning, where did they come from, what was their background, what is their culture, etc., etc., so that when you are curating your plan and you are visualizing your goals and you are looking into the future, as I would consider it, when you are planning, etc., that you are able to curate something that is realistic and in alignment with you. I always say, take what you need and discard the rest, right? So when you are taking in these expanders, whatever you have seen them achieve, whatever you've seen them do, nobody say be a copycat. I'm saying just use them as a space, a point of reference that what you want for your life is 100% possible. Hello, Mark. Hello, Senorita Swag. I'm so glad to have you guys. All right. So I've said a lot. So just to recap, guys, for those of you who are hopping in, my topic tonight is how do you build self confidence as a business owner? And I started off by saying that you need to believe in your product and service. Like you need to own that shit with your chest. Like you know that when whatever product you have, whatever service you are bringing, whatever you are doing, it is from a place of integrity. So you're not doing this just because you believe in your product, you believe in your service, you know that what you say, the results that you are creating, it most definitely is what it is you are going to deliver, plus more. Hello, Dirk. It's nice to have you. The second point is to ensure that you have a support system, that you are to have accountability, that you are to have mentorship. The third thing is that you need to keep learning. You need to learn and learn and learn and consistently master your craft. The fourth thing is that you always need to be in a space of looking at things through specific lens. So you're not going to just hop on social media and just scroll because you have, oh well, let me just scroll. If you're a business owner, if you're into, I don't know, social media, if you're into coaching, if you're into fixing generators, if you're into cars, whatever you're into, when you are looking at content around your specific niche, make sure that the lens that you are looking at it from, or whatever, whomever you engage with, the lens that you're looking at them is from a marketing, a business, a strategy standpoint, and really open up yourself from that space so that you could function and show up in that way, right? So you have intention. What else did I say? Oh, yes. So, a pro tip is to consistently do the inner work. So, while you work on the business strategy, while you figure out, okay, how to market and how to brand and how to do this and how to sell and how to convert and how to make more money, essentially, you need to prioritize your inner work, because running a business, having a business, dealing with employees, whatever it is going to highlight all the parts of you that need healing. And yes, Racine, we will definitely talk about imposter syndrome. right? Which I mean could be an entirely next topic, but I will definitely in another episode, of course, but I'll definitely touch on that tonight for you, right? After I spoke about that, I mentioned having expanders, right? So we have an expander so that we could have proof of what is possible. All right, and this is the fun part. To run a business and to have that self confidence, what I'm going to tell you here, you might stoops, I really feel you'll stoops. But you had to throw yourself in the deep end. It have no ifs, no buts, no maybes. In order to build your self confidence, you need to increase your bandwidth to deal with discomfort. And that usually 9.99.99% of the time looks like flinging yourself in the deep end, literally, and realizing, oh my goodness, I did not die. Oh my goodness, I swam. Oh my goodness, like I'm still alive. To build your self confidence, you need proof. You need proof that the very thing that you said you're afraid of, the very thing that you were like, I can't do, I don't know how to do it, you need proof that it's a lie. Because most times it's a lie. Of course, if we tell ourselves we can't do something, we won't be able to do it. But if we tell ourselves, okay, I'm going to, I will, I'm going to try, I'm going to put my mind to it, it happens, right? So, in order for you to build that self confidence, you sincerely need to fling yourself in the deep end. And I'm going to tell you, not trying to be all preachy here, but the vision, the goal, the thing that you have on your heart, it was put in you for a reason. And God did not bring you this far to only bring you this far. So if you have a specific vision, if you have a specific goal, if you have a nudge that is being like just it's just sitting there and it's telling you, hey, go live now, hey, launch that product, hey, do whatever it is that you need to do, your your work in this space in order to build that self-confidence is to honor the nudge. Because let me tell you the truth, the lack of self-confidence is as a result of a lack of self-trust. And when you do not have self trust, it is because you have not honored the parts of you and your intuition and your nudges and the things that you know that you were supposed to do. So your lack of self confidence is not just because, well, oh, I'm somebody who has, I'm kind of shy. Your lack of confidence is as a big part of you not trusting yourself, is as a result of you not trusting yourself. You do not think that you are capable of completing something. You do not think you are capable of seeing it through. You do not think that you can. Your lack of self confidence is as a result of your lack of self trust. And in order for you to learn to trust yourself, it means that you have to get okay. You have to become okay with being uncomfortable. And in running a business, in doing the things that your business is requiring you to do, is not going to be comfortable. Oh my God, shit, there are so many things that I do not like to do. And I am learning the hard way. Well, I mean, it's getting easier now because I've decided to surrender. But I have come to realize that you have to get okay with doing the very difficult, very annoying, very hard things, because this vision, whatever your vision is, whatever your goal is, I don't have it. You have it. That's yours. And who is going to have to do the work here? Me or you? You. And so if you have a vision or you have a dream, but you refuse to compromise your comfort now for your vision or goal, then you need to reevaluate if that vision or goal or purpose that you believe you have is deep, is it really as serious as you say it is? Because if you say it is that serious, then there would be a surrender to the discomfort. We, as business owners, as somebody in business, especially if it is a heart-centered business and it's not just, oh, let me make a quick dollar, and it is out of a place of integrity, you have to come to a place to realize that, hey, I have to become okay with being uncomfortable. And as I mentioned in my last episode last week, like you have to pick a struggle. You have to pick a struggle when it comes to fulfilling your goals. Are you going to struggle with this hard where you're just pussyfooting, where you're feeling like you're failing, where you feel like you're not making any sense, where you feel like you're stuck? You could pussyfoot in that space and just be there and just feel shitty. Or you could decide, okay, you know what? I'm going to pick this hard. And this hard is being uncomfortable for 2 minutes. I'm going to go live. Although I'm afraid, I'm embarrassed. I think nobody going to hop on. I feel like people would judge me. Be uncomfortable with launching your product, telling somebody, pitching yourself, sending that proposal. Like, be uncomfortable for those few moments there. And the thing is, right behind the law of attraction, aka you manifesting your dream life, is the law of action. Like, you need to put in the work. The work needs to be done. And a lot of the work is uncomfortable. So, in order for you to actually build your self confidence, it means that you need to become okay with being uncomfortable. You need to increase your bandwidth, your daily capacity to be uncomfortable. You need to rebuild your self trust. Your lack of confidence is as a result of your lack of self trust. If you do not trust yourself, let me give you a perfect example. Do you have any confidence in anybody who always bullshits you, who always says, yeah, I'm gonna do it for you and don't do it? Do you have any confidence in them to deliver anything for you if they always break in your trust? Could somebody in the chat tell me, please? Do you? You do not. Most times, if you have a family member, you have a friend, you have a somebody, you have a partner, it doesn't matter. You have people in your life, and every time they keep telling you, yeah, girl, don't worry. Yeah, boy, I'll fix that for you. I'll see about that for you. And they never do it. You do not rely on them. You cannot rely on them. And essentially, at the baseline, the truth is, even if you do not tell them, you do not trust them. You do not trust them to follow through with anything. You would not trust them with saving your life. You would not trust them with giving them certain things. You would not trust them with certain responsibilities. And it is the same 100% exact concept with yourself. So if you are not doing the work to build your self-trust, if you are not engaging in the activities and fulfilling and following through the very little things that you say you're going to do day by day, your confidence would always be at a low. And the work, and as I mentioned before, one of my points, the work is in your personal development. So you pair your strategy, you pair learning how to build that business from a business standpoint. You do that work because it is necessary. And of course, you need to do that work so that we can make money, right? But on the flip side, which is like parallel, is your personal work, because I do not think anybody desires to run a business where you are putting in how much ever hours, 16 hours, 20 hours, 12 hours, how much ever hours, and you are literally crying and dying on the inside because it's a shit business that you have and you do not like what you do. You have no joy, no passion, no satisfaction. Because let me tell you, that will bring me to basically my bonus point. In order for you to have self-confidence within your business, you need to be satisfied by your process. In order for you to build that self-confidence in your business, you need to find satisfaction within your process. So we all have goals, we all have these visions, we all have these things that we want to accomplish, of course. But it's a process. It takes some time to get there. And if you are basically bleh, and you are basically unhappy, and you are basically frustrated, and you are basically complaining, and you are like, why am I doing this? And you are not concerned about anything else beside just the end result, then your confidence is going to hit a low. Your confidence is not going to go anywhere, as a matter of fact, because dissatisfied people, I mean, there's not very much correlation, positive correlation, when you think about somebody who is not happy with their current circumstances, if they're not happy with their life, if they're not happy about their day-to-day functioning, their confidence they don't usually exude good, happy, confident vibes. They exude anger and frustration and misery and annoyance and a whole lot of other things. And when you get to the baseline of it, is because they're not satisfied. So the bonus point in terms of building your confidence is to ensure that you find ways to be satisfied in your process. And that means that you need to do an examination when you're looking at your business, when you're looking at your workflow, when you're looking at these services that you have, when you're looking at the products that you have. Are you satisfied? Do you feel good about it? Are you satisfied? Do you feel good about it? And if the answer is no, then guess what? You have 100% co creative power to change it. You get to recenter, you get to regroup, you get to rebrand, you get to whatever you need to do so that the work that you are doing day by day, because that is what actually counts, that is what actually adds up to in the long run, feels like, okay, I could do this. I could do this. I am able to be present in the moments as I build my business. I could be present in the moments as I do whatever it is I have to do. And that in itself breeds a different type of energy. All right. So, hello, Michael. Hi, Maruga Man. Hello, Charlene and Anisha. So essentially, guys, those were my very speedy tips in terms of how to build your self confidence as a business owner. This is a very holistic approach. None of it is standalone. We are expected to do the inner work as well as to learn the business and the strategy parts of things. You need to speak life into your business. You need to speak life into yourself. You need to make a conscious effort every single day to do the little things that are going to shift your energetic state from Blair to high vibes and good energy and good intentions, and realizing, hey, you don't have any space to worry here. You need to pay attention in terms of building your business and strategy and getting the support that you need, reading, learning consistently, and as I said, rebuild that self trust. Like, you need to build that self trust in order for you to have that self confidence so that you will know, hey, I can do hard things. I could be comfortable here. I could be comfortable in this shitty space right now. It is not an easy walk in the park. It is not easy. And I'll be a liar if I said it was. But what makes this thing worthwhile is your decision to be okay with having to do hard things. Patricia, first Actruz, I think I butchered your name. I'm sorry. Neil. Good night, guys. So, guys, let me know if you have any questions for me. Just to touch very quickly on what Tennille asked about imposter syndrome, right? So, imposter syndrome essentially, oh, that thing, eh? Imposter syndrome, essentially, it's your ego's way of keeping you safe. Imposter syndrome is essentially your ego's way of keeping you safe. So people usually demonize imposter syndrome, and they wish they could get rid of it. And my perspective is very different. The reason behind feeling as though you're not good enough, or you're not ready, or you need to know everything, or you need to be a superwoman or a superman and do it by yourself, which are all facets and parts of imposter syndrome, is your ego's way of trying to keep you safe. Because, of course, anything outside of your comfort zone, your ego is going to be like, ew, what is this? Like, no, like, we can't do this. This is not safe. And it's trying to help you stay safe. So, one of the visualization techniques that I use, and as I said, thank you for asking this question, Racine. So, I'll definitely do an entire topic on this in our upcoming episode. But I would share with you a visualization technique that I use as it pertains to imposter syndrome. So I imagine I'm in a car. So, of course, let's just say the fear is I'm not ready. The fear that's coming up is I'm not ready. I can't do this. I don't know enough. However, the nudge that I am getting is to go live. Let's use this as an example. The nudge is to go live. The nudge is to go live and to speak on a particular topic. And my anxiety or my fear or my ego is just having a whole malfunction. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't do it. I don't want to do it. And so I'm feeling like I'm going to back out. But the nudge, I know it's a nudge. You know it's an intuitive nudge. How do you go from hearing the nudge, wanting to chicken out, to actually honoring that nudge? So I envision myself in a vehicle. So God placed this nudge in my spirit, or this vision in my heart. I am then trusting that this vision, this goal, this thing that I have is aligned, because it feels like that in my body. There's just this knowing that what I'm supposed to do is this. And vision myself as the driver in a vehicle, God as the passenger. He's the co-pilot in the front seat with me. And my fear or my ego is a little thing in the back, right? So we're driving along, and there is, and we about to, because we honorably nudge, right? And there is my ego tapping on my back. No, we can't go there. We can't do that. We can't go live. Oh my God, people going to laugh at us. We can't go. But she's in the back seat, right? I then hear God. He's the passenger in the co-pilot, and he's telling me go left, go right, go here, go there. So I then affirm to Fair in the back seat, who actually is little version of you, who is just basically having a whole shit show right now, having a tantrum. And I visualize acknowledging my fear. If the fear is I'm not ready, I don't know enough, I visualize having that conversation saying, hey, I see you. I see you, and I know that you're trying to keep me safe. And I know that you think that what we're about to engage in is going to be completely detrimental and it's going to hurt us. But I am the driver. I am the driver in this car here. So I'm going to let you know that we're going to be okay. Thank you. Thank you for trying to keep me safe. But I'm going to do this. I'm going to show up on this live here. We are going to be okay. What that does is soften the fear. It softens your ego's voice from being loud and clambering and obnoxious, because most of the time your ego just needs acknowledgement. So when it comes to imposter syndrome, which is basically your ego's way of trying to keep you safe, and it is everything is fear based, one of the things that I share with clients, one of the things that I do with myself, is simply acknowledge that fear. Acknowledge that fear, be an observer of the thought, and make it very known to myself, to my ego, to that little part of me, that we are going to be okay. I am the driver, God is the co pilot here, and we are safe. And so, this is where the grace to be comfortable in discomfort is important, because after you have that conversation and your ego softens a little bit, the work and the commitment and the self confidence is built from your self trust, and that self trust is built from actually executing the task. So I said a lot there. Tell me if you are confused. Essentially, imposter syndrome is your ego's way of trying to keep you safe. Yes, so it doesn't want you to come outside of a comfort zone. I use a visualization technique where I visualize that I am the driver, God is the co-pilot, and there is a pass, and my fear or ego is the passenger in the back seat. When I'm about to engage in that activity that I know is going to get me closer to my goals, but I am shit, like I'm scared, I have that conversation and it calms my ego just a smidget, so that I could do execute the very thing that I want to. We're not saying that the fear is going to be eradicated. Remember, the fear is an emotion, and our emotions are here to serve us. And fear is never something that we're going to get rid of. So I think that everybody needs to be abundantly clear about that. Fear does not go away, it is an emotion. Our emotions are here to serve us. So you need to get used to being afraid and doing the damn thing anyway. And this is where increasing your bandwidth to deal with discomfort is important as it pertains to your self confidence, right? So after you acknowledge and you love and you accept and you thank your fear for trying to serve you, you got to do the damn thing. You need to execute the task anyways. And of course, there are a lot of modalities and a lot of work that you can do to soften that and to ensure that your higher self, or the part of you that is the in charge part of you, is at present doing the work. But of course, to discuss that on this live, you'll be here till next week. But I hope, Racine, that you received that, and anybody else who hopped on that resonated, do let me know. So, guys, I think this was the quickest I ever run through a point um, in terms of points in terms of a topic, right? And you guys were awfully quiet, but I believe that that means you are awfully attentive, right? So let me know if you have any questions. What are your thoughts? How are you guys doing today? I am so glad to have you. Hello, Alyssa, Nikki, Mel, Zach Gems. Hope I pronounced that. Patricia. I'm so glad to have you guys, right? So that is it in a nutshell, guys. And I hope you share this with a friend, with a colleague. There's so much work to do, so much things to share as it pertains to inner work and healing and running a business, especially if it's heart centered. And I'm glad that I get to do this here. So Racine says, yes, thank you. Do what you're afraid of anyway to build your self-confidence. Yes. And of course, I'm making it clear this is not a trick, as in, we don't expect that, oh, we just run into it and, like we do it one time and it gets better. No. There's also so much work to do around your nervous system and regulating your nervous system so that when you take the action, even though you're scared, your mind and your body and your spirit and everything could catch up and you are able to identify at a soul level, well, this is now who you are. So if the racing, if the task that you want to do is to go live, for example, going live one time may not make you be all self-confident. Going live a next time, 2 3 times may not make you be all confident that I'm now somebody who goes live. But after doing it at a over a period of time and then doing the work in terms of nervous system work and in terms of affirming to yourself cognitive work that hey, you are now somebody who goes live, etc., there is a shift at an identity level. And when there's that shift at an identity level, then you also notice a shift in how you show up, aka how your confidence, how your self-confidence is. All right, so the goal then in terms of self-confidence in business is basically to own that shit with your chest. The goal then, I think I got caught up there. The goal then is to learn to own what you're doing with your chest, to own it with your chest. So if you're a business owner, whatever your product is, whatever your service is, whatever you're selling, own that shit with your chest. And I'm going to close off with something that I saw. TikTok is such an informative place, guys. But this was a word. I don't remember the lady's name, but she said, what made the difference between where she was in her business and where she is now was giving herself permission to succeed. Ooh, I want to sneeze. Excuse me. What she said was she gave herself permission to succeed. I want to sneeze. Bless me. Of course, if I don't sneeze, then it's not alive with me. Racine says, is it weird that I don't want people who don't know to associate me with my business? Well, Racine, you need to know, or you need to sit with if that is coming from a place of fear. Oh my God. Thank you, Patricia. Yes, guys. So Racine, in terms of that, you need to identify if the reason that you don't want people to associate you and your business is from a place of fear, as in, is it some insecurity, as in, you don't want people to know because if it fails, you don't want people to know it's you. Is it because you don't feel safe? Is it that you don't want to be seen? There are so many factors that come up, and you get to sit and identify with that and your reason as to why. And if you notice it is fear based, then there'll be some work to do around that. Right? But yes, guys, so my bonus or my closing was give yourself permission to succeed. Give yourself permission to succeed. Time and time again, I have found myself putting myself in situations where I am shrinking myself. I am pussyfooting. I am like, oh no, like, and we doing this kind of that type of dance. And the baseline is because we are not giving ourselves permission to succeed. Give yourself permission to succeed. Speak life into yourself. Speak life over your business. Go back through your products. Go back through your services. Look at the transformations. What is measured is always improved. So acknowledge, celebrate the things that you've done. Consistently remind yourself and celebrate how awesome you are. These things may sound so cliche and may sound like if oh gosh, it's we just talking here, we just fluff. This is not fluff, guys. This is not fluff, because who you are as an individual transcends into your business. Who you are as an individual transcends into your business. So the work must be done mentally, emotionally, spiritually, cognitively, all like it needs to be done, guys. As a business owner, a small business owner, whatever you want to call yourself, if you are a solo person or you have a small team of people or whatever the case is, how you do one thing is how you do anything. So if you're starting off with just this amount, when you get more money, when you start to make more money, all it's going to do is just amplify who you are at a soul level. I'm going to repeat that. What you are now, who you are now, what you are doing, with the funds that you have, with the resources that you have. Do you feel, do you think that if you get $1 million in the morning, or you get $20 million in the morning, or you become a CEO of a big multi-million, 500 fortune, whatever company, that you as an individual are going to become this big grand type of person? No, all it's going to do is amplify who you already are. So if with $5,000 you don't really have that much confidence, and you don't feel that great, and you don't feel that loved, and you don't feel that you're enough, and you don't feel a lot of things, with $500,000, do you think that it goes away? No. No, it doesn't. It just amplifies those feelings. You may have a lot of physical things to mask it, but at a soul level, at a core level, at a baseline, it's still there. It just amplifies who you are. That is why the work needs to be done, despite whatever level of this journey you're at. So Racine says, it sounds like you're being full of yourself. The line between self-confidence and being full of yourself is a blurry line to me. And Racine, that will come from, where did you learn that? What were you taught around self-confident people? What were you taught? What were you shown? Or what did you believe to be true? What did you experience in the past from people who seemed confident? And if the story is like people who are confident are usually full of themselves, then that is also something for you to reflect on. Because a lot of the things that we want for ourselves that we do not give ourselves, it's also because what we learned in the past through what our parents taught us, what we experienced, etc. We have a belief system around it. So as much as we want it for ourselves, it will be hard to give ourselves permission to have that, because the underlying belief is actually contrary to the very thing that we want. Does that make sense? For example, if we are saying we want to be rich, I want to be rich, I want to make money, I want to do this. Yet in childhood, or what your church taught you, or what your school taught you, who that rich people are snobby and obnoxious. I'm just using that as an example. So now when you're adulthood, you're like, I want to be rich, I want to have money, I want to do this. But the self sabotage, the imposter syndrome, all the things that happen that are preventing you from having the very thing that you want are based on a belief system that rich people are snobby or arrogant or whatever. And because you know you are a good person, and you do not believe that you are snobby or arrogant or whatever, and you do not desire to be snobby or arrogant or whatever, you will consistently self sabotage being that person who has X, Y, and Z amount of money or whatever it is you want, because your subconscious mind would always ensure that the way you show up and what you have in your reality are a true reflection of your core beliefs. So, Racine, I hope that made sense, and that will be something for you to sit with. Self confidence and being self absorbed are two very different things. And if there is a thin line, there is this likelihood that your belief system around what a self confident person is may need some reflection. All right. So, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this live. I saw Racine said she did. You guys feel free to send me any messages around any topics. And definitely, Racine, because of your input, I would definitely do a entire episode on imposter syndrome. All right. Guys, I do have one-on-one coaching spots opened. You guys are free to DM me as spots are available. And of course, we have breathwork sessions, which it's my happy place. So coaching is a very happy place for me, but breathwork sessions are like my extra happy place, because the healing and the transformation is like, and I'm not an advocate for quick fixes, but I adore the fact that people get to use their breath and get to experience so many shifts immediately just by the power of their breath. So of course you are free to reach out as well. Racine says, thank you again. Some stuff here made me cringe. Oh my God, Racine, music to my ears. If we're not making people cringe, then what am I doing? I'm so glad. Guys, feel free to message me. Let me know your thoughts. Share your feedback. And of course, share this with a friend. For those of you who are catching the replay, thank you so much. And I love and appreciate you guys so, so much. So it was a pleasure. Thank you guys. And I will talk to you soon. Bye bye. All right. Okay.